Hearts and lives. I think somebody just said to me the other day that one of the things that those of us that do this work all the time, especially the advocacy work and how difficult it is to actually make change, that we have to remember that we're always planting seeds, and that whether we actually make something happen ourselves or our organization, there are going to be others behind us that are also doing that work and will carry that forward. So, I go way back, before it was Americans for the Arts, when it was NALA, the National Association of Applied Sciences. So I've been around a long time. But it taught me the value of advocacy and then the support of all the data that it collects. We use that constantly. But the advocacy work, which for the longest time, I just thought it was knocking on the door of a legislator or, a member of my city council and saying, support this public funding aspect of the arts. And I thought that's all it was. As I've grown into this and more directly in the last 10 years, understanding that it goes so far beyond that. It's about policy and it's about investment and it's about making playing fields the same for artists and creators and creative businesses and nonprofits to the same as it is for every other industry in the country. And so Americans for the Arts has been part of that. Obviously, there have been other influences in my life in that way, but that's the work that I enjoy doing and try to help all the time. I think that the connection between arts and creativity to everything that in its way is important to particularly people in the United States. We want innovation, you want invention. You can't have that without creativity. And if we're not supporting creativity, education, to our communities, and everything else that we do, we're not making our country, our people, America as good as it possibly can be. So that's one of the key reasons I do what I do. I never want to lose the fact that creativity, the arts, is part of us as innate. It's innately part of us as humans. But it also feeds us, it feeds our soul. It does build understanding. I mentioned my work, my life in Detroit. The arts allowed me to see the rest of the world, other people's eyes, and understand how important that is for me to break down prejudices and bridges that to build bridges that I didn't have any idea how to do that before that. So the arts really helped me do that. There are probably two things that I would want to put out there in regards to arts and advocacy. And one is that those of us that get into this field because we're practitioners or producers, we want to do the work, we want to create. We need to be engaged in and part of the advocacy and activism. Because without that, we're not engaged in that, then it's never going to change for us, and that playing field won't be even. The other thing is that I think that we have a job as arts advocates and activists to help the rest of the public understand the interconnectivity between the arts and every single other industry, whether it's tourism or whether it's health or education or even our quality of life and in our communities and how we are active people. So all of those things are important.